finally got myself some Pinoy angelfish. I got myself two. They're currently enthralled with some guppy fry I dumped into here that act like diddler fish. I do know I might end up losing one or two, but these guppies are relatively fast for what they are. But I finally got myself some Pinoy angelfish. They're still incredibly skittish, as you clearly can see. I've had them now for about 15 hours or so. And so far they're doing just fine. They're acting, other than just complete skittish little fish, they're acting relatively normal. They're also at least one of them is also a pearl scale. So I'm guessing I got myself Pinoy pearl scale angelfish. So I'm quite happy with what I got over at my Worlds Underwater yesterday. I also managed to divide the 10-gallon, that way so I can have room to house the two spawning bettas, and also Big Red. I actually figured out why Big Red was able to jump between dividers. The original divider I had in here was just a tad bit too short, which basically meant that he could actually slip between this little area right here that doesn't have any of these little plastic doesn't have this little plastic part, and it was just basically big enough to allow him to get through. But now I fixed that problem, and none of them are able to jump dividers. The only reason why I don't fill this tank up completely yet is because I'm trying to get the rest of all this crap on the bottom here cleaned off. I also need to build the little back portion right here that housed the poppus plants, but I'm not going to add that into the video because that's pretty freaking boring. So I'm just going to do that off camera. But so far the bettas are doing just fine. They each have their own little guppies to go after and whatnot, and keep them busy and whatnot, and if anything it makes the tank look a lot more lively. The only thing that sucks is that this tank is relatively bare. I'm hoping over the next few weeks to actually get this tank to be unbare and actually plant it with a lot of fake plants to make it look something like this tank here. So yeah, these guys are pretty much good to go for now. I also added Blake and Son into the 20 long again. I put the flowerhorn that was in here initially, the little female one, the little $12 one. I have her in a little cup in the 20 long out in the living room, so she can't get out and mess with anyone. So hopefully either today or tomorrow I'll go to my local fish store and hopefully have them rehome her to a better home. So yeah, that's pretty much that with these guys. Also in both tanks, both this one and the 5.5 out in the living room, they do have betta fry in here. This one seems to have more around 15, 16, maybe 20. I don't know for certain since they are pretty small. But most of them are free swimming, but most of them are just hiding out for the most part. I don't really think you'll be able to see them due to the fact the reflections and whatnot, and the fact I'm using a Panasonic video camera that doesn't have the ability to do macro lensing and whatnot. So I'm not going to be able to really get into full detail like Creative Pet Keeping can and a few other ones out there, because they actually have the money to splurge on camera and equipment that can actually do what they want to do. I have to make do with what I got. And of course, here's the 5.5 out in the living room. You can actually see two, or at least, yeah, you can see at least two right here of my little baby betta fry. So, like I said, I got betta fry, but as you can tell, this thing is not going to be able to zoom. It's not going to be able to autofocus onto those things anytime soon. It's one of the downsides of using a video camera like this. I would like to get a DSLR that has all those nice little functions, but I don't have $1,000 unfortunately to spend on a DSLR, and let alone my channel's incredibly freaking small. So it really doesn't make any sense for me to spend $1,000 on a digital camera for a YouTube channel that gets no more than 2 views, if not 15 views at max. But speaking of the female flowerhorn, here she is. I know it's not exactly the most most spacious place that she can be in, but it's the only thing I really have because I'll normally actually be putting her in this bigger box until I can actually rehome her. But my $20 female, which is right here, female flowerhorn, needs this box more than her because she's still trying to get used to my male and she needs to have her little area to hide in and whatnot. Speaking of, this guy likes to sometimes go into that box. And I thought I'll take this opportunity to show that they are pearl scales. Since the light's actually hitting them properly and they're facing at the right angle, you can actually see the pearl scales on their sides. So the only thing I really need to do now is get a proper light. I can properly display these two angelfish's proper colors. And if you don't know, I'm actually zoomed in because if I get any closer, these two are going to spaz out and just run away. But the lighting I'm using right now is just this. So yeah, I definitely need to get a more appropriate light for these two type of angelfish. And the guppies are doing just fine. I haven't lost any yet, thank goodness. But they're around and about for the most part.